everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lacquer Lover and today I'm going to be swatching this 10-piece nail polish collection. This is Essie Expressie's Dial It Up collection. So basically Expressie is Essie's quick dry line. You can use these colors in just one step and have a manicure. Basically you can do it on the go. You don't need base or top coat. And I'll be showing you guys basically what that means in the swatches. But yeah, this collection is very colorful. We have different finishes. There are translucent finishes, there's also the basic cremes, and then there's also this like shimmer finish. And yeah, it's kind of a retro collection, so you can see very vibrant and bold colors, and I'm excited to see how they apply on my nails. So without further ado, let's get into the swatches. I'll be swatching these in the order of the categorical numbers, and the first is the sheer pink called Mall Crawler. So here is the first coat of Mall Crawler, and you can see that it obviously is not going to build up. It's very sheer and it just adds a light wash of color to the nail. This is my first time swatching Expressie for you guys, but if you don't know, the brush is pretty unique. It's angled on one side and that is meant to help you paint both of your hands, and I do think that it's very helpful, and I'm able to like really get close to my cuticle without flooding it. So anyways, I'm going in with the third coat of Mall Crawler and it really built up. So here's 3 coats of Mall Crawler with top coat, and I just really like this polish because it has this kind of squishy, jelly, gummy effect or finish, and it just adds a bit of color to your nail. I don't mind the nail line at all, and I think it would be really nice to wear on its own like this. The next polish I'm swatching is another sheer, and it is called Skip the Track. It is a sheer dusty cool purple. So here is the first coat of Skip the Track. So you can see that it is very sheer and it is doing basically what it's meant to do. It just adds a light wash of color, and my nail bed is naturally pretty warm, so with this cooler shade it basically kind of reverses that and just makes my nail look a lot cleaner and healthier. So this is the second coat of Skip the Track, and the color is building up. It's getting a little bit darker and it's covering up the nail line a little bit, but I will be doing a third coat, and I know that the polish won't completely be opaque at the end, but I just want to show you guys what that looks like and how the color builds up for this polish. Overall, the application is really smooth and easy, and I didn't have any issue with bald spots or patches. This is 3 coats of Skip the Track, and the coverage on this one is actually a lot better than Mall Crawler. I feel like you could get away with just wearing 3 coats of this and no one would really be able to tell that this was a sheer polish, but you can still wear it as a sheer polish if you just did fewer coats. And I just feel like this one is a really fun, like squishy grape jelly polish. Next polish in this collection is actually the namesake of the collection. It is called Dial It Up, and it is a cool purple shimmer polish. So here is the first coat of Dial It Up, and it applied very smoothly and very easily, so I'm just moving the polish around and trying to cover the entire nail. And actually by the time I finished manipulating this first layer, it covered up the nail line pretty nicely, but I will be going in with a second coat just to make sure that it does have full coverage. And I found that with this polish you don't have to be too careful with the brush strokes because it does like level out and they do disappear as they dry. So this is 2 coats of Dial It Up with top coat, so it just turned out to be a very cool, vibrant purple shade, and I just thought that the silver shimmer just made it a lot more interesting, and it's just a nice, vibrant shade that you can wear in the summer or you can even wear in the winter time right now. The next polish is the last of the sheer polishes, and it is the sheer deep fuchsia magenta shade called Turn Up The Sentry. I'm going in with my first coat of Turn Up The Sentry, and the pigmentation in this one is actually pretty good, and you get a lot of color on the first coat. Even though this is a sheer polish, of course, I'm still going in and building up this polish as much as I can, so I'm adding a second coat, and you can see that the color deepened quite a lot. And now I'm going in with my third and final coat of Turn Up The Sentry. Of course this polish won't build up to full opacity, but if you'd like to achieve that, you can keep adding more coats. So this is 3 coats to turn up the Sentry with top coat. I love how the magenta fuchsia shade in this is very loud and vibrant, but it's still a sheer base, so you can still see the nail line, and it gives this like very squishy and dainty look to it that you can use for nail art as well. So I think it's a very like versatile shade depending on like how dramatic or how loud you want your nails to be. The next polish I'll be swatching is called Shook, and it is a sunshine or lemon yellow. So I'll be going in with my first coat of Shook, and the formula in this one is actually pretty different from the ones that I've shown so far. I found that this one was pretty thick, and it actually made it pretty hard to work with because, like I said earlier in this video, this is Essie's quick dry line, so it's meant to dry really quickly. But because the formula is so thick and I'm trying to like manipulate it so that I don't just have clumps of polish on my nail, it ends up drying while I'm doing that, and I get like strings pulling off of the nail as I'm like dragging the polish off. But anyways, I'm going in with my second coat because it was a pretty rough first coat, and I found that I just really had to work with this pretty quickly and make sure that I was putting the brush where I needed the polish to be. So here is 2 coats of Shook, and while it did turn out to be a beautiful vibrant yellow, this was pretty hard to work with, and I don't know if it would be a polish that I would gravitate towards for a full manicure, but it definitely serves its purpose and it is a nice bright yellow. The next polish I'll be swatching is called We Don't Mesh, and it is a chartreuse shimmer that also resembles a Granny Smith apple kind of shade. I'm going in with my first coat of We Don't Mesh, and because the finish is the same as Dial It Up, it has that silver shimmer in there. It basically had a very similar formula and was very easy to work with. The first coat evenly covered the nail line, but the second coat was where I achieved full coverage. And I didn't have to worry about the brush strokes because the polish leveled out beautifully as it dried. So this is 2 coats of We Don't Mesh with top coat. I actually expected this one to be a 3-coater, but I guess the chartreuse base was just opaque enough that I was able to achieve opacity in just 2 coats. But yeah, I think this is a very interesting shade. I think it goes well with my skin tone too. It definitely looks more yellow up against my skin, but I also feel like it matches my skin better in that way. So yeah, this is just a very interesting one. I think it really depends on your skin tone and your preferences, but it's definitely a fun color to try at least once. The next polish I'll be swatching is this bluish gray called In The Modern. I was actually very excited about this because I don't have any creme like this, and I just feel like it would be a very easy shade to pull off. So I'm going in with my first coat of In The Modern, and it actually is applying pretty smoothly. I was pretty scared because I'd already tried the yellow polish called Shook, and I was scared that I would basically run out of time to like spread out the first coat and make sure that it was perfect before I moved on to the second. But I feel like I just had like less polish, or there's just something that's like thinner or easier to work with about this formula that just made it easier to apply the first coat. But anyways, I'm going in with my second coat, and it did build up to full coverage and it leveled out really nicely as well. This is 2 coats of In The Modern with top coat, and this is just a really nice kind of palette cleanser shade that you would probably wear in between like darker or stronger manicures, and I feel like it's just, like I said, very easy to pull off and a shade that everyone should have in their collection. The next polish is the teal creme in this collection called Up, Up and Away Message. I'm going in with my first coat of Up, Up and Away Message, and I found this one to be very sheer compared to the yellow and the bluish gray that we just swatched. So that was pretty interesting. I don't know if it's because I didn't shake it enough, but in the second coat, I did have a little bit more polish on the brush and I was able to achieve full opacity, and it went on like butter. Now that I have the color built up on my nail, this one actually really reminds me of In The Cabana from the regular Essie line. So this is 2 coats of Up, Up and Away Message with top coat, and I found that this turned out to be an electric blue shade after it dried, and it's just a very vibrant and cool blue that is maybe slightly different from In The Cabana, maybe enough for you to buy this one as well. I don't know about the winter time, but I feel like this is a very good shade to wear in the summer just because it's so bright and cool and refreshing like water. Next, I'm going to be swatching this warm tone beige called Millennium Momentum. So this is the first coat of Millennium Momentum, and the formula is a lot better than the previous one. With these beige shades, if you get a bad formula, it's just so hard and annoying to work with, so I'm glad that that was not the case, and it's actually leveling out very nicely. Next, I'm going in with my second coat of Millennium Momentum, and the first coat was done so nicely that I just really had to add a little bit more polish to achieve full coverage. And it just turned out to be a very nice and clean shade, another kind of palette cleanser shade. So this is 2 coats of Millennium Momentum with top coat, and it's just a very simple, elegant, and classy shade that you can wear a lot throughout the year. You know, it just fits a lot of different occasions and moods, and yeah, I think you can get a lot of use out of it. And we're down to the last polish in this collection, and it is a super dark silver shimmer polish called What the Tech. So here is the first coat of What the Tech, and upon the first stroke on my nail, I thought that this actually looked like Apple's Space Gray, like for their laptops and their iPads, which was very interesting because I never drew that comparison before. But yeah, this one was very easy to apply in the first coat, and it was pretty close to full opacity. Of course, I had to go in with the second one, and it did build it up completely, and I was satisfied with it. So this is 2 coats of What the Tech with top coat. This is just a dark space gray silver shimmer polish, and I mean, it's not the most wearable shade, it's not a palette cleanser shade at all, but it's definitely an interesting one that you can do as a full accent nail, or you can use to paint kind of finer details. So I definitely think that it does serve its purpose kind of, and it's nice to add to your collection if you do a lot of nail art. So this was my swatch and review of Essie Expressie's Lit Up collection. I have these polishes placed as usual left to right in my order of most to least favorite. My favorites are the translucent polishes just because I've always wanted sheer colors like those, and in the middle section I have 2 of the crumbs. I just think they're really nice and clean colors to wear between maybe darker or stronger colors. And then surprisingly, I really like this chartreuse like shimmer polish. I actually love chartreuse, but I think this one just like turned out really nicely on my nails, so that's why I put it kind of in the middle. But it's definitely not something I would wear all the time, so it's not my favorite. But yeah, just like the rest, it was kind of hard to rank. I didn't really love those, but I still feel like some people could have a use for them or really like them. But yeah, that's basically my ranking of this collection. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video and seeing how they applied on my nails. These are available on Ulta's website, and I'll have that linked in the description box. If there's anything that you see you liked in this video, then you can go ahead and purchase them on there. But yeah, that's it for this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye everyone, and Happy New Year!